So we all know that it's important to drink more water, but do you know why it's important and what benefits it has for the body if you're hydrated? I'm going to go over 5 reasons why we should be drinking more water based on what I learned in the book, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. Alright, so reason number 1 is the brain's energy sources. Now, most people think that the main energy source for the brain is glucose, or the sugar that is in the bloodstream. But what Dr. Batman Glitch has found is that the actual primary source of energy is hydroelectricity, which is created from the osmotic flow of water passing through the cellular membrane. So as water passes in and out of the cell, just like in a dam where water is running through and creating electricity, the same thing is happening with our cells. And that energy is then transported to the brain and able to be stored and used for its main vital functions. So when the body is dehydrated, then you may see glucose being the source of energy that is used. But if it can, it's going to use energy from hydroelectricity, and that comes from a body that is well hydrated. So, you may have heard that the body, the brain and nervous system is the information superhighway of the body. It runs on electrical impulses. So it's not hard to believe that the body creates hydroelectricity for the use of its main control system, which is the brain and nervous system. Reason number 2 is heartburn, ulcers, and arthritis. Now, these are 3 pretty painful conditions, and the nice thing about water is that it has natural pain-relieving properties. It not only buffers the cells from acids, but it also helps to collect and take acids away from the cells. So you're preventing the inflammatory reaction from those acids on the cells. Now, when we look at the stomach is coated with a mucus lining, and that is to help protect the stomach from the acids that are needed when digesting foods, especially those high in protein. Now, the mucus lining, you can see that the lining of the stomach has about 4 layers. The top layer, or the inside layer, is mucus. Under that is glands. Under that is the muscle. And under that is what is called the peritoneum. Now, the mucus and the glands are what we are going to focus on for this video, and 98% of mucus, Dr. Batman Glitch talks about, is 98% is water. So the glands, what they do is they secrete sodium bicarbonate up into the mucus. And when there's enough water in the mucus, the glands can secrete that sodium bicarbonate up, and it disperses evenly and sufficiently throughout that mucus. But when the body is dehydrated, then the mucus may be dehydrated as well, creating not sufficient sodium bicarbonate dispersion throughout. So the acids in the stomach, when digesting foods, may start to get in to that protective layer and start to cause burning, inflammation, and eventually ulcers. So by keeping the body properly hydrated, this will allow for a properly hydrated mucus lining in the stomach and help to prevent ulcers from forming. Now, looking at arthritis, which is inflammation of the joints, water acts as sort of a lubricant between the bones, so it allows it to glide smoothly and create less friction. And water also makes up a good portion of cartilage tissue, which is also responsible for helping the bones to glide against each other without causing any damage. Now, when the body is dehydrated, then the cartilage is going to be dehydrated as well, which is going to allow for the bones to start grinding against each other, causing damage to the tissue, and eventually inflammation is going to occur, and that's where you get a lot of the pain that you see in arthritis. So keeping the body well hydrated is going to help to keep the cartilage and water between the bones to help create a nice, smooth, gliding surface for joints. Reason number 3 is stress and depression. Millions are suffering from high levels of stress and depression these days. When we experience stress, it increases our need for hydration, as the brain is trying to cope with the additional processing of emotions. Now, like we said in reason number 1, hydroelectricity is the main source of energy for the brain and nervous system. So when we're dehydrated, it interferes with the efficiency of the neurotransmitters getting to the rest of the body and the brain being able to monitor and control all the things that are going on in the body. So there is a constant level of elevated stress on the entire body, but especially the brain and nervous system. So as the body tries to ration its water supply to all the different organs and glands that require proper hydration to function, this triggers stress hormones to be released into the blood, such as endorphins, cortisone, vasopressin, and renin-angiotensin. Dehydration also interferes with the transport system that allows tryptophan, which is an amino acid, to get into the brain. And with tryptophan, it is used to create several different neurotransmitters, which are needed for the proper functioning of the body, such as serotonin, tryptamine, melatonin, and indolamine. By keeping normal tryptophan levels in the brain, we allow the brain to regulate all the functions of the body at an optimal level. And this, in turn, will create less stress and depression. Reason number 4 is overeating, weight gain, and digestion. Dr. Batman Galish found that some of his patients lost anywhere from 30 to 45 pounds just from drinking water rather than sodas, coffee, and other fluids. So one reason that he found is that he makes a big emphasis on the difference between water and other fluids and the resulting hydration that the body receives. Juices do not hydrate the body the same way that pure water does. So he found that drinking more water and less other fluids, the body was able to become hydrated more efficiently. He also notes that we have a hard time telling the difference between the sensation of hunger and the sensation of thirst. So when the body is really telling us that we're thirsty and we're dehydrated, many of us take that as a signal for hunger and we begin to eat more. And when we eat things that dehydrate the body and don't digest well, it only causes more dehydration and more stress on the body. When it comes to digestion, water is needed in order for any of the digestive fluids to work properly. So the gastric juices that the stomach secretes requires plenty of water in the system. Same goes with the pancreas and the sodium bicarbonate and the other pancreatic juices that are needed to break down our food so that we can absorb it and assimilate it. So without having adequate fluid in the body, we aren't able to digest our food well enough to get everything out of it as efficiently as we could with a hydrated body. So what Dr. Batman Galish recommends is for us to drink 1 to 2 glasses of water about 30 to 45 minutes before a meal. That way our body is able to have the available hydration that is necessary to help the fluids of the body, the digestive fluids, to break down our food. And last but not least, reason number 5 is, of course, it alkalizes the body. And like we said before, it helps to gather and pull away toxins from the cells, gets it into the eliminative pathways and out of the body. It also helps to dilute the fluids of the body because when the body is dehydrated, the blood and the other fluids become very concentrated with these acidic byproducts, and that is not good. So when we drink more water, we help to dilute some of that and help to pull it out and carry it away, flush the system, and keep everything nice and alkaline like we're all looking for. Alright guys, so I hope you got something from this. I hope you found some reasons why you should drink more water and keep your body hydrated. I'll catch you in the next video, and always remember to follow your raw intuition. Catch you later.
Detoxify your mind and body. Be the change you want to see. Small steps towards living better. Small steps to where I want to be.